Hey everyone, Steven Fabian here, correspondent from Inside Edition, coming to you from downtown Manhattan, here to answer your questions from the internet having to do with the Steel City, my hometown, Pittsburgh. Let's do this. I am Red Strike on Instagram wants to know, what was it like growing up in Pittsburgh? Well, lots of hills, lots of bridges. Good for sled riding in the winter. I actually used to sled ride right down the middle of my street in Pittsburgh. Grew up in a neighborhood with a bunch of friends who are still my best friends to this day. We've been friends for over 35 years. And I have a giant family in Pittsburgh. I have about 26 or 27, it's hard to count sometimes, 26 or 27 first cousins all in the Pittsburgh area. So for me, growing up in Pittsburgh was all about family, friends, and Steeler football. A Winslow 1998 from Instagram wants to know, will the Steelers go to the Super Bowl? Unfortunately, I can confidently say no. I bleed black and gold just like the rest of us Yinzers, but this is not our year. It has been a rough stretch for the Steelers. I, for one, am in favor of maybe a regime change here. I respect Mike Tomlin. I think he's done a lot for our team, our franchise, but 17 years is a long time to be a head coach. Let's try someone else and see what happens. I'm happy to say I have been able to see the Steelers win 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime, play in 4 Super Bowls in my lifetime. I feel pretty fortunate as a football fan. Richard Ford on Facebook wants to know, what is Pittsburgh known for? Where do I start? There's so many things. Jonas Salk, the inventor of the polio vaccine from Pittsburgh.
At the University of Pittsburgh, Dr. Jonas Salk and his co-workers painstakingly developed that vaccine.
Lots of famous NFL quarterbacks are from Pittsburgh. Dan Marino, Joe Montana, Jim Kelly. So many NFL players and other pro athletes started out their careers in Pittsburgh. And you know who else?
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
Mr. Rogers is from Pittsburgh. Very proud to say that. Shot that show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, in the Pittsburgh area. He's really a legend in Pittsburgh. And fun fact, Mr. Rogers and I have the exact same birthday, March 20th. Pacific Ocean 01 from YouTube wants to know, what is your favorite catchphrase or term that people from Pittsburgh use? Oh my gosh, where do I start? Let me clue you in on a little thing called Pittsburghese. The #1 word in Pittsburghese is Yinz. Yinz is our version of y'all. So we would say like, how Yinz doing, how Yinz been? That's my real voice. This is my TV voice, but my Pittsburgh voice is my real voice. So Yinz is our version of y'all. How Yinz doing? How Yinz been? And then we would say something like, oh, don't be so nebby. Nebby means nosy in Pittsburgh, and there are degrees of nebby. You could be a nebby person, but then you could also be accused of being a neb nose. No one wants to be a neb nose. That means you're a nosy person who's nebbing on people's stuff. And last but not least, on akanna means on account of. Like, your mom's been being real nebby on akanna. She wants to know what I want for Christmas. Victoria on YouTube asks, do you think your hometown of Pittsburgh influenced your decision to become a journalist? Without question, absolutely. My mom, Barb, was actually a journalist for the Pittsburgh Press, the now defunct Pittsburgh Press newspaper back in the day, so sort of followed in her footsteps. And also my high school, Plum High School, was really where I got my start in the broadcast TV field. My teacher there, Mr. Barat, who I'm still very close with this day, gave me my start, taught me how to edit, shoot, write, and he gave me my first on-camera roles. So for me, how I got here to correspondent from Inside Edition, it really and truly all started in my hometown of Pittsburgh. All right, another one from YouTube. Describe your hometown in 3 words. Ooh, 3 words. I could say, this is a tough one. I want to say family, football, and pierogies, but I could also say Cower, Lemieux, Stargell. Bella from Instagram asked, best food place in Pittsburgh. This is also tough. Lots of great food in Pittsburgh. The cliche answer, of course, for Manny Brothers for the sandwiches. Everybody knows about that. Sandwiches with the meat, the cheese, the french fries, the coleslaw, all mashed together on one sandwich. Amazing stuff, especially if you've been out for part of the night and maybe you need a late night snack. Great sandwich there, very famous. Pamela's for the pancakes and the strip, everybody knows that. And then my Aunt Patty's house on Christmas Eve for the homemade pierogies. More specifically, the prune pierogies. It sounds like something that wouldn't be good, but prune pierogies, you get the nice mix of sweet and savory. If you're ever in the Pittsburgh area on Christmas Eve, just stop by my Aunt Patty's house. She'd love to have you. That was a lot of fun. Thanks so much for the questions about my hometown of Pittsburgh. Don't forget to follow us on all our social medias at Inside Edition, and then follow me at Steven Fabian TV. And most of all, keep tuning in to season 36 of Inside Edition. Season 36, good number for Pittsburghers, Jerome Bettis. We love that guy. Thanks so much for the questions, and we'll see you soon.